This is Glenn Rice with Clearview Sewer Cams. We're located at 8951 Rubio Avenue, North Hills, California, 91343. We're performing a video waste and sewer line inspection through a 3-inch ABS cleanout located on the left-hand side of the house, along the walkway on the side of the house here, just outside the bathroom window. And this is our 3-inch ABS cleanout, which is located just right at the edge of the cleanout, or the crawl space. This is running out towards the rear of our property here. This is running out towards the front of our property here. And this is our bathroom window here. And we went ahead and zeroed out our camera monitor here at the cleanout. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and continue to push out. We're just going to push out and attempt to push all the way out into our city sewer tie-in. So it does appear to be black ABS waste line. And we're transitioning into what appears to be cast iron waste line. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and continue to push out. We are running a little bit of water just to help us push out. And what we'll do is utilize that water to help us push out and get all the way out towards the front of the property and hopefully out to our city sewer tie-in. So we're just going to go ahead and continue to push out. Again, it does appear to be cast iron waste line. We'll make a little bit of a turn. And we're going to continue to push out. Again, we're just going to go ahead and continue to push out. Once we get all the way out towards the front of the property and possibly all the way out into the city sewer tie-in, what we'll do is we'll shut the water down and we'll pull back and take a really good look at our line. And it does appear that we are transitioning into what appears to be vitreous clay. And it does appear that we have a minor root intrusion in that joint there. And that's right at our transition. This is right about our property line here. So we're just going to go ahead and continue to push out. And pull back in this area here. It did appear that we have a little bit more root intrusion in that area. But again, we're just going to go ahead and continue to push out and attempt to get all the way out into our city sewer tie-in. And then once we pull back, we can take a really good look at the joints. So we're just going to go ahead and continue to push out. We're going to pause here for a moment. Okay, we went ahead and pushed out, and we are at about 103 feet, 2 inches on the camera monitor. And it does appear that we do have some root intrusions in this area, so we're going to pause for a moment. This stupid thing's fucking up. Now the recording froze. Okay, appeared we had a little glitch there with our monitor, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull back. Okay, we went ahead and located this area, and it's just to the left of the driveway, in the parkway, in the grass area, at 5 foot 7 inches deep. And we did place an orange flag to identify the area. And unfortunately, we're unable to push past this point due to the large root intrusion in this area. This root intrusion, as we were running water, was holding water back. And as we shut the water down, the water had passed through, and as you can see, we do have a fairly large root intrusion in this area. So we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back slowly. As you can see, the root intrusion. Well, let me see him. So again, as you can see here, we do have a fairly large root intrusion in this joint. And again, we did mark this area at 5 foot 7 inches deep on the left-hand side of the driveway. I'm sorry, on the right-hand side of the driveway in the grass area. And so we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And again, we do have fairly large root intrusion in this joint as well, as you can see. And these root intruded joints would need to be hydrojetted out to re-inspect the joints and determine the condition of the joints. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And we do have a little bit of offset in this joint as well, from about the 6 o'clock up to about the 9 o'clock area. And what we're doing is we're just going to continue to pull back, and as you can see, there's our test tee there, and we do have some more root intrusion in this joint as well. Just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And we have some more root intrusion in this joint as well. So again, we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And again, we have some more root intrusion in this joint as well, from about the 9 o'clock all the way around to about the 3 o'clock area. Again, these roots are penetrating from the top. I'm going to go ahead and continue to pull back. Okay, we're going to pause here for a moment. Okay, we're going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And again, we did mention that we have multiple root intrusions in the vitreous clay. And as you can see here, we do have a break right about the 7 o'clock area there. You can see a crack in the line there, right around the 7 o'clock area. And it goes all the way up until around the 12 o'clock area. So again, we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And here it does appear we're transitioning back into a short section of black ABS sewer pipe. And you got a little bit of an offset in this joint here from about the 3 o'clock area all the way up to around about the 11 o'clock area. And again, just holding a little bit of water in this area. And we're going to continue to pull back. And this area here is where they had installed a mainline cleanout at the front of the property. And our mainline cleanout is right about here. So we're going to pause here for a moment. Okay, again, as I mentioned, this area is in the front yard, just to the right of the driveway in the grass at the front of the property. And again, they did install a mainline clean out in this area. Now we're transitioning back into our vitreous clay. And as you can see, a little bit of an offset in that joint there, and we're dropping down into the black ABS here, and we're pulling back. So we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. Minor offset in that joint there. Just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And as we pull back, you can see that we do have root intrusion in this joint here from about the 9 o'clock area up to about the 11 o'clock area. I'm just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. Again, a little bit of an offset in that joint there. Again, nothing major. And we do have a little bit of an offset in that joint as well. Making a little bit of a turn. And as you can see, as we turn here, we are having root intrusion in this joint as well. And you can see that we do have a crack in this joint as well. I'm going to pause here for a moment. Okay, we're going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull back and transition back into our waistline and pull up and out of our clean out. And what we'll do is we'll relocate ourselves towards the front of the property and attempt to push out from that point out to the city sewer tie-in. And as you can see, as we continue to pull back in this joint here, we do have some root intrusion in that joint as well. And we have some root intrusions in that joint as well. The joint appears to be in fair condition. I'm going to continue to pull back, and do have a little bit of root intrusion there. Make a little bit of a turn. And that joint appeared to be in fair condition. And now it does appear that we're transitioning back into our cast iron waistline. And as you can see here, as we pull back into our cast iron waistline appears to be fair condition. Has some buildup and some scaling throughout it, but still appears to be in somewhat fair condition. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And again, as I mentioned, the cast iron has some buildup and scaling, but all appears to be in fair condition. We're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. Making a little bit of a turn. And again, we're just going to continue to pull back. And we transition back into black ABS waistline. And this area here, all the black ABS waistline all appear to be in fair condition. So we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. We're going to pull up and out of our clean out, and we're going to pause our video here and relocate ourselves towards the front of the property and attempt to run through the 4-inch black ABS mainline sewer clean out at the front of the property. So we're going to pause here. Okay, we went ahead and relocated ourselves to the front of the property. And again, we're just to the right-hand side of the driveway in the grass at a 4-inch ABS mainline sewer cleanout that had been installed. This is our 4-inch ABS mainline sewer cleanout here. This is our driveway area here. And this is the front of our property here. And we went ahead and zeroed out our camera monitor. Or let's go ahead and zero out our camera monitor here. And we're just going to go ahead and drop down and take a good look here. Immediately transition into what appears to be vitreous clay. And again, as you can see here, this area here we already had seen initially from when we're pushing out through the waistline. Again, we do have a crack in that joint there right around the 7 o'clock area and root intrusion there at the top. So we're just going to go ahead and continue to push out. And again, we have root intrusion in this joint as well. And these areas here we did come in on as we're pulling back from our waistline. So we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And as you can see, we have a fairly large root intrusion in this joint here. So we'll just pause here for a moment. Okay, again, we're just going to go ahead and continue to push out. And as you can see, fairly large root intrusion in that joint. As you can see, so we're just going to go ahead and continue to push out. And as we push out, we do have another root intrusion here at the top. And again, this is right around the 12 o'clock area. And it is coming through the joint there. And as you can see on the top there, we do have a crack in that joint. So we're going to pause here for a moment. Okay, we're going to go ahead and continue to push out. A little bit of an offset in that joint there. We're just going to go ahead and continue to push out. And again, that joint appears to be in fair condition. And as we come up, we do have a root intrusion in this joint here. And as you can see, fairly large root intrusion here. We're just going to go ahead and continue to push through. And as you can see, fairly large root mass there at the top, right around the 12 o'clock area. Okay, we're going to go ahead and continue to push out. And again, this is the area here where we were unable to push past from the waistline at the back of the house. And again, we were out 107 feet, so we did have a little trouble pushing past this point. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause our mic here, and we're going to attempt to push out past this point and get out into our city sewer tie-in. So we're going to pause here. Okay, we went ahead and flushed the toilet just to clean our camera lens, and we were able to get past that area there at 107 feet that we had trouble getting through from the waistline. So again, we're just going to go ahead and continue to push out. A little bit of an offset in this joint. It does appear that we do have a little slag overpour in that joint there, and that's just a little bit of concrete overpour. So we're just going to go ahead and continue to push out. A little bit of offset in that joint there. A little bit of concrete overpour. I'm just going to go ahead and continue to push out. And again, we do have a little bit of offset in this joint here, but it does appear to be a little bit of slag overpour right around the 3 o'clock area. And we do a little bit of an offset from about the 9 o'clock all the way around to about the 3 o'clock area. And we're dropping down a little bit here, and we're just going to go ahead and continue to push out. And in this joint here, we do have a fairly large gap in this joint here. As you can see, we can see the full face of the pipe from about the 9 o'clock all the way around to about the 6 o'clock area. So again, we're going to pause here for a moment and just take a good look at this area. So we're going to pause for a moment. Okay, we're going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And we did go over the line with the potential buyers of the home, so we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And again, we took a look at all these joints. So again, we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. Again, as you can see, fairly large root intrusion as you can see here in this area. Again, we're just pulling back through that. We're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. Another large root intrusion there. So again, we're just going to continue to pull back. More root intrusion in those joints there.
The gallbladder.
So we're going to continue to pull back. And we're going to pull up and out of our clean out, and that will conclude our video waste and sewer line inspection.
So much information. Sorry.
Hey, no,